Welcome to another video tutorial and product introduction from EpoxyJewelry.com. Today what we're going to do is show you a new product for us, which is simple silicone. It comes in two parts, and it's a putty type silicone. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a mold of this particular item so that you can reproduce it. In the molds you can make use it for epoxy, like our two-part jewelry epoxy. You can also use it as a push mold for polymer clay. You can also use it for wax or soap or even candy. Yes, it's FDA approved for food contact. So what we're going to do is we get started here. You take two parts of this that are approximately the same size. You just eyeball it, and that's close enough. And pull them off of here. Let's see. And what you want to do is just mix them together. Okay, and you're going to knead them kind of like you would dough or something, and you want to get it to where it's one homogeneous color, one solid color. It'll be kind of a mint green when you're done. It takes about 30 seconds or so to knead together. Now you have, once you start to mix this, you have a 5-minute working life. So you need to get it finished and put on the product in 5 minutes. It will set up hard where you can remove it in 15 minutes. So it's fairly quick, and it's a fairly stiff epoxy when it's done, so that makes it good for push molds and things like that that require a little stiffer, I said epoxy, silicone. It's a little stiffer silicone when done. And okay, this is pretty well kneaded now. Now, this piece that we're going to do has some fairly deep areas in it. So just to be sure that we get down in those areas, what I'm going to do is pull off a little piece and force it down inside those areas. And this just makes really sure that we get it every spot down inside done. If your piece is flat or doesn't have quite deep crevice, you don't need to, you can forego that step. Okay, so now what we'll do is form this into a ball and push it on top, and we're just going to push it down until it goes over the sides. Now we're doing this upside down like this with the epoxy or the silicone going down because it's a fairly soft putty, and if you did it this way it could open up and come away from the product that you're trying to replicate. Okay, so we just do that like that. Now I like to take something flat, it could be anything, and push a little bit on the top of this, just so that when we go to pour whatever we're going to pour into the mold, that it'll sit flat on a table. Okay, now in 15 minutes we'll demold that, and you can see what the finished product looks like. Okay, we're back, and this is the silicone mold we made. So now all I do is pull it up off of this glass, and go ahead and demold it. Do that, we just pull around it, and the piece comes out, and there you have it, a nice, clean, perfect mold. So as you can see, it's a good replica of the original. And later on we'll show you how to use it with push mold for polymer clay. Thanks for now. Okay, now I'm going to take this mold we made of this item here, and we're going to use it as a push mold for polymer clay. This is our simple silicone from EpoxyJewelry.com. Okay, so I've worked this clay a little bit here. Need to make sure it's nice and soft so it'll form into the mold. You know, you gotta condition it pretty good. Now this is a little stiffer than some clays. If it's too stiff, you can warm it up a little bit or add a drop or two of clay softener to it. But what we're going to do is just go like this and just push it right into that mold. Like that. The mold is fairly stiff, so you don't have to worry too much about distorting it. And when you get done, just pull this out. Now if you have soft clay, you can put this in the refrigerator for a few minutes and to make it hold its shape. But there's a reproduction now of the original. And again, you can use these molds for epoxy, for chocolate, for candy, for wax, or soap making, anything like that you want to use it for. But it's great with epoxy too, and you can make all kinds of molded items. I mean, this is not from this, but this is a molded item from another silicone mold that I made, and it comes out really nice. Now, with your silicone, if the original item is glossy, the finished product in epoxy will be glossy. If the original item is a matte finish, then the silicone will take up the matte finish, and if you pour epoxy in it, the item will be matte finish. So that's a little information about our simple silicone from EpoxyJewelry.com. Thanks for watching.